Hi, this is Jill from Humu Yoga, and this is the full practice. Today, we're going to be working with the theme of harmony, synchronicity in our practice. And we're going to be focusing on the pose Ustrasana, which is a wonderful pose because it's a very effective and nice back bend. So we're strengthening the back while we're still opening the front body. But it's not so super challenging. And I'm going to really teach some modifications as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Just find yourself in a comfortable cross-legged position if you're not there already, and take a moment to tune inward, just going through that, the bandhas, feel the pelvic floor drawing in, mula bandha, root lock, uddiyana, like right below the belly button, lifting upward. You feel that energy. And then you can gently draw the chin down and just take a moment to stay connected here and focus on the breath. And now I'm going to recite the quotes of harmony. Harmony. To put everything in balance is good. To put everything in harmony is better. The goal of life is to make your heartbeat match the beat of the universe, to match your nature with nature. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Live in peace, walk in harmony, breathe with awareness. This is a very important theme for me this week. Yesterday, I just found out that in addition to having osteoarthritis in my knees, I have it in my shoulders, like bone on bone. Let's go ahead and exhale and round the spine. And inhale, come forward. I haven't really noticed all that much, but I want to make sure that I'm modifying and I'm doing it in a way, my yoga practice in a way that's really benefiting my body. Let's go ahead and round. So I'm going to keep modifying, and I'm okay with that. Breathe, because I want to do this for the rest of my life. And breathe. And really just notice what's going on in your body today. You could bend your knees if you needed to. And just notice, where am I today? What's going on? And how can I help that? And then we're going to slowly walk up to the front with breath, with ease, and just let your body hang for a moment. You could even grab the elbows. Try to straighten your legs as best you can. So now release the hands. We're going to slowly curl up the spine. You could soften the knees if you needed to. Pull the belly in so the spine is supported, and just visualize stacking your spine one vertebra at a time until you get all the way up. The shoulders will roll down the spine and widen, and then the head just arrives. Pausing for a moment, and then we're going to step everything together. Samasthiti, standing still and straight. And we're going to start with the Sun Salutations. And we're going to be working on really finding nice openings to help us with Ustrasana, finding nice harmony. And I do these full classes every week with a theme and usually a focus on something. So if this is something you like, please subscribe. Thanks so much. And if you have a suggestion for a class, you could put that in the comments too. Let's get started. Surya Namaskar A. Big breath in, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. I like to feel how the belly pulls in here. Hands down, inhale, look up and lengthen. Let's go ahead and take it back to plank. Find a moment here to hold your plank. Now I like to modify here. Try and make sure your butt's under. I just do a little push-up. It helps with my shoulder, but you could go as low as your body allowed and rise up. And now we're going to come through to upward facing dog. Feel the shoulders drawing down and back. Lift the sternum. You could lift the knees, gazing down the nose and lifting. And then from here, we're going to take it back to downward facing dog. And just breathe. Inhale, noticing what's going on. Exhale. Can you keep your belly lifted here? Breathing. And exhale. Stay connected to the breath. We'll take one more long breath. I'm really feeling my calves today. And then let's walk up. I took a nice long walk yesterday with my sister. Walk up and fold. And then inhale, lengthen, and let's rise up. And exhale, hands down. Let's do one more. Inhale, reach. And exhale, fold. Feel the lift of your belly. Inhale, look up and lengthen. And go ahead and take your body back. This plank pose is important. It's very strengthening. And then let's go ahead and lower. And rise. And come through. Inhale here. Lift the sternums, shoulders down and wide. And then exhaling, downward facing dog. And breathing. Try to inhale and exhale out your nose. Deep inhalations. Every exhalation, I feel more release. Keep breathing. Just noticing where you're feeling this in your body. And then bend the knees and let's start to walk up again. Or you could lightly lift up if you wanted to do that. And fold. Inhale, lengthen. And rise. Reaching and exhaling, hands down. Sternum B. Bend the knees. I'm going to put the blocks here because they give me really good height, and I'm working on that lightness, that lift. Fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. And I also like it, like when I jump back, I can keep my shoulders there and feel that lightness. And then let's go ahead and lower. And rise. Come through. It also makes it easier to roll over the toes if you wanted to try that. Lifting the sternum and take it back, downward facing dog. Now let's go ahead and lift the right leg behind you. Try to keep your chest coming closer to that left leg. And then pull that knee up towards your face and step it up there. The blocks really help with that. And then we're going to reach forward and come all the way up. Keep your gaze down your nose and straight ahead as we start to bend the back knee. And I want you to take the tail under on that side. And let's just hold this for a moment. Keep reaching up, keep gazing straight ahead. One more breath. And then let's go ahead and straighten the back leg. Now we're going to take a big circle with the arms. So start to reach the arms down, circle back, and reach up. And breathe here. Inhaling and exhaling. Now we're going to circle back the other way and reach forward and go ahead and take the hands down. So opening the shoulders a bit. And then let's go ahead and lower and rise. Inhale here. Upward facing dog is a nice back bend in the upper back. Feels good in the sternum. And then we go ahead and take it back, downward facing dog. Left side. So reaching that left leg back, right? And then you're gonna pull the knee up towards your face to step it forward. Do the best you can. And then we'll start to reach forward. Keeping your gaze forward, we're gonna start to lower the back knee. It doesn't have to come all the way down, but get your tail under and gaze straight ahead as you reach up. Straight ahead. One more breath. Now start to straighten the back leg. We're going to circle the arms here. So circle the arms. Your drishti or your gaze is going to start to go down the nose and up. Reach and breathe. Feel that energy. And then to come out, circle the arms the other way and reach forward. And then from here, taking the hands down, stepping back, lowering and rising. And coming through, big breath in, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. And just stay connected to your breath here. Inhale, and exhale. Notice, are you starting to warm up? Are things starting to feel a little bit more in harmony? Breathing. And one more breath. Now look up and find a spot that you're gonna land on. So push down, lift up, land, and fold. You could always walk up as well. Bend the knees, reach the arms, and come to stand. Let's do one more. Bend the knees, big breath in, and exhale, fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. I'm gonna lightly hop back, keep the shoulders there, boom, and start to lower. And rise, and come through. Inhale, lifting the sternum. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's let the right leg come up and step it up there. And then we're gonna reach the arms like we did last time, but this time as we start to rise up, we're gonna take the back foot down and just arrive in warrior one. Breathing, opening, inhaling, exhaling. And then inhale here, reach the arms again. Take the hands down. And we're gonna lower, rise, come through. Another back bend, lifting, tail is under, sternum's lifted. And downward facing dog. Left side, lift that left leg. Lift the knee up, step it through. Reach. But this time we're gonna rise up and put the back foot down. And warrior one. Lifting, breathing, inhaling, exhaling. And then start to reach forward. Keep pulling that left butt back. Take the hands down, stepping back, and lowering, and then rising. And coming through. Inhale here, and exhale. Downward facing dog. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Really reach through the shoulders, really reach through the heels, pull the belly way in, release the neck. Gazing forward, find a spot, push down, lift up, and fold. And then inhale, bend the knees, reach the arms, and come to stand. Let's take the feet hip width, and exhale, come forward. Inhale, you can hold on to the back of your legs and then come forward for a moment, lengthen your spine, and then see if you can start to just curl in from there. Maybe pulling down, shoulders away from your ears, head and neck are relaxed. And then inhale, lengthen, hands on the waist, and rise up. And we come to Samasthiti. And now we're gonna go into some standing poses. So I'm gonna set up the blocks, one in the front, one in the back, and we'll go ahead and step out. Let's turn the left foot in and the right foot out, and we're gonna find ourselves in warrior two. So really reaching with the arms, the drishti down the nose and at the fingers, and breathe, feeling that inner thigh opening on the right leg as you breathe. Inhale and exhale. Now gaze down to your left hand and start to come into a back bend here, gazing down. See what that feels like. And then can you change your gaze? Can you start to turn? Just see where you go. Just do what feels good in your body. And then inhale, rise up. We're gonna straighten the front leg just for a moment, and then we're gonna come back into warrior two and make our way into side angle. Vrksasana, Utthita Vrksasana. So I'm going to use the block here. I like that high level for this one. Same thing here now. You're really reaching with this left hand. Take your gaze down for a moment. Notice how that feels. And then can you slowly start to turn? And just do what feels good in your body. And then we'll inhale and rise up. And then from here, we're going to come into Trikonasana. So inhale, reach, taking the hand down. You might adjust your block here so it's under the shoulder. Keep pulling the right butt back. We're going to do the same thing here. Take your gaze down and then start to turn. Now, since we're working on back bends, I'm going to go ahead and just open this up a little bit, right? And now let's go ahead and rise up. We'll go to the other side. So starting with warrior two, take a breath in and just find the pose. So I feel this left inner thigh opening and a nice reach across the chest. I'm opening there too. And then from here, just gaze down your right shoulder, and we're going to come into a nice back bend here. Now from here, you could just gently change your gaze. Maybe that feels good. If not, come back to something that does. And then we're going to rise up. Straighten the front leg for a moment, and then we're going to bend again and come into Utthita Hasta. So you can put the forearm on the front leg, circle. Take your hand down if you're using the block. You could start with your gaze down today. And then notice, what does it feel like to turn the head? And maybe you turn up. But do what feels good in your body. You can play around with that. Reach, and then inhale, rise up. And now we'll come into Utthita Trikonasana, so extended triangle, keeping the legs straight, reaching. I'm going to change the block. I'm going to put it under my shoulder and a little lower, and reach up. And again, since we're moving into back bends, what does it feel like to reach back a little bit? And then notice your head, right? Playing around with that. And then inhale and rise up. Let's do Prasarita Padangusthasana. So inhale here, hands on your waist. Exhale, come forward. Taking the hands down on the floor, try to walk your hands through a bit. You could always take a block and put your head on it, but it's nice to make contact. Make a right angle at your elbows, and then draw the shoulders down and wide on your back. And really straighten the legs, and breathe here. Lots of big breaths, opening the rib cage as you inhale and exhale. And then inhale, look up and lengthen. And put your hands on your waist and rise up. For this next one, I'm going to use a prop. I'm going to use my little towel. You could use an exercise band or a yoga belt, or you could interlace your hands behind your back. But this feels better in my shoulder. So let's go ahead and hold on so that the shoulders there's some internal rotation, and we're going to really get some nice shoulder extension here. So this is nice for back bends. We're going to exhale and start to come over. And if you had an exercise band, you could stretch it way out. And you don't have to come all the way to the floor with your hands, but you could try to make contact with your head with something, and then really see if you can just breathe into the pose. Inhaling and exhaling. And then inhale, rise up. Feels really nice. And then let's just come into a goddess pose today. So staying a little bit turned out, we'll take a different hand variation today. So just coming down into the pose, opening the sternum, lifting, feeling the tail under and the knees opening, and just sinking but lifting the chest, and breathe. And then inhale and rise. Let's step together. Samasthiti. Just pause. Now we're going to do tree pose. So we're going to take it into a little bit of a back bend. So I'll start with my left foot here. And I'm kind of using the stall bars here or the wall, and just see where you can take this. So we'll start here, and then we're going to take it into a back bend. So if you can, circle the arms, reach up, and stay there, and breathe. You could be holding on, right? That's fine. You could stay here, or if you have the energy and you wanted to try, you could lift a leg and back bend, and then release. And we'll go to the other side. So here we go. Right foot this time comes into tree pose. Lift the sternum. We're going to circle the arms and really reach and lift and stay there. Enjoy that. If you want to take this further, you could hold on. That's up to you. Hand is out, lift up. find the back bend. And then I like to release and bring it down. And now we're going to take it down to the floor where we're going to start to find our way into Ustrasana. I'm just going to move the blocks so they're off to the side for a moment. And then we'll come to Samasthiti here. And then inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, take it back just to down dog. And then we'll come to the knees. Now we're going to take Virasana or hero's pose. I have to be a little careful because of the osteoarthritis in my knees. So I do an elevated Virasana, but some people go down very naturally. So if that's the case, go ahead. I also like to adjust the calves a little bit so I create more space behind the knees. And this is just a really nice pose for meditation because it's easy to sit up. And then I love Yana Mudra, which represents knowledge, your inner knowledge and your inspiration, right? That comes together as a circle. And then you just sit here for a moment and notice what's going on in the body, your breath, your connection to the practice. Is it all in harmony? And stay in that just for a moment of meditation and breathe. And then from here, we're going to start to take it into a bit of a back bend just for the upper back. So you can open the eyes and we just start to circle the arms and open up. Open everything up, big opening. And just take it to where it feels good in your body. If it feels good to take the head back a little, you can, but you don't have to. Maybe your hands join, right? And just take it somewhere where it feels really good. Breathing. And then inhale and exhale, release. And then we're going to come onto all fours and we're going to take the blocks now and place them at the ankles. So now we're going to come into Ustrasana. So if your foot was cramping, you could take the feet this way as well. Some people like to use the ankles. That's like using the blocks. Blocks make it a little bit more accessible, I think. So to come into the pose, so we're going to do two entrances. First, I want you to take the tail under and lift the sternum. So you press the shins down, taking the tail under. So it's like the pubic bone is going towards your heart. And then keep doing that and taking your time, breathing, keep lifting. You're feeling a nice stretch in the hip flexors here, right? And then slowly start to take your arms back and see if maybe you touch. If you had to go back, that's okay. Just come forward again. It's up to you whether or not you want to take your head back or not. But find breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Just notice that breath. Inhaling and rising up. Hopefully that went well. And if you'd like to try this second entrance, it's kind of fun. So just think of it like a circle and only take it to where it feels good in your shoulders. So we'll start on the right side. You're going to look over your right shoulder, put your hand on the block, circle the left arm and reach. And reach and lift. And you could stay here, or if it was accessible, you could take your hand down and lift the sternum. And breathe. And then we'll come back around. And we'll do the other side. So I'm looking over my left shoulder, placing my hand down, circling the right arm and reaching and lifting. You could stay here, or maybe you could circle the arm, take it down and lift back up again. And then from here, circling and coming back. So just have fun with that. And make sure there's no tension in your neck. Only take it to where your body really likes it. So let's go ahead and come down to seated. So I'm just going to slowly walk my feet up, take the blocks, because I'm kind of working on this transition here. I like the lightness. And then come to seated. Let's come into a nice forward bend after all that back bending. It should feel good. So take a breath in. See if you can sit all the way up on your sitting bones, right? Even if you have to bend your knees to get there. And if that's the case, you might want to sit up on a blanket or a block or something, because we're going to come into Paschimottanasana, forward bend. Inhale here, exhale, come forward. You can just grab your feet, or if there's a variation you like here, you could also have your hands on the floor, but just relax the head down. Breathing here, inhale, and exhale, releasing. And again, inhale, and exhale, release. Just stay connected to your breath. Try to straighten the legs, get a nice hamstring stretch, and release. So notice how back bending is really energetic, but when you forward bend, you can just let go. You don't have to push yourself. This is just a release. Inhale, lengthen, and rise up. Let's just do a little hip stretch. So pull the right knee back by the armpit. Just feeling that opening. Let's just bring the leg across and sit up. And stay here for a moment. It's okay if you have to lean back a little to do this, but you just want to feel that outer hip stretch. Just a nice release. We're going to take it into a little bit of a twist. So you could have your hand on your shin. You could even have it on the ground and turn, or maybe you could take your arm in the arch of the foot and just start to feel that twist. And breathe into that, opening the right hip and then coming back. Sometimes that'll help release the low back too. So bring the knee in, pulling back, trying to sit up. And then let's go ahead and bend the knee, ankle to knee, and sit up as best you can. But if you have to lean back a little, that's okay. And try to open that knee. And then from here, we're going to take a twist. So you could just turn your body. You could have your hand on your shin, or maybe you could get your arm inside that arch and lift up and turn and breathe. Let the breath bring you around. And then inhale here and coming back to the center. Sit up as tall as you can, and we're going to go back into a rollback. So inhale here, exhale, curl the belly. So really draw it back. You feel your spine going down one vertebra at a time, one vertebra at a time. Pull the belly way in until you're all the way down at the floor. Pause here for a moment. Let your shoulders roll open. And then let's just do one articulating bridge, real slow. So let the tail curl under, lifting up as high as you can. Reach the arms long, the neck is long. So you're not overdoing it with the chin, right? Just long. And slowly, let's start to curl down. Pull the belly way in, curling down. Feel a nice release all the way down. And the hands can come down. And just be in a pause for a moment. We'll take a breath in. One more twist. Lift the hips up, shift them to the left. Arms out to the side. Let the knees come over to the right. A gentle gaze over the left shoulder. And breathe. And we'll go the other way. Lift the hips up, shift them to the right, knees up, knees over. And you could take your head straight up or to the right, trying to roll that right shoulder open. And then slowly coming back, let's find ourselves in Savasana. So you could pull the knees up, you could do happy baby for a moment, and then just release. And see if you can find harmony in the breath, in the relaxed state that you're in, just becoming light. And stay here as long as you can. I'm going to go ahead and take you out though. So just start to feel your breath, become aware of your breath, but stay in this place. Everything is working or not really working. Everything is synchronized together, moving with ease. And then we'll bend the knees and we'll come into a fetal position pausing there. And slowly making your way up to seated. I think it's always nice to just take a moment to notice where you are now in your practice after all of the asana and all of the breathing and all of the focus and everything in harmony. And take this with you in whatever you do. Namaste.